Hey y'all, welcome back to our channel. I'm Spencer.
And I'm Griffin. It's been a minute, but today we're going to tell y'all the story of how we fell in love.
So many of y'all ask us in our comments the story of how we met, so we thought we would tell y'all that and some of the earliest moments from our relationship.
Which, if you don't know or you haven't watched any of our videos, me and Spencer have been together for almost 3 years now. So if you ask me, I think everything we did worked.
Taking it all the way back to the beginning, we both went to Kennesaw State. I'm a freshman and Griffin is a sophomore. We both followed each other on Instagram at this point, so we knew of each other but didn't really know each other. And I think at some point I had asked for a Snapchat or we got each other on Snapchat. One day I realized we go to the same school. I see he posted an Instagram picture. I'm thinking, wow, this dude's really cute. So I hit him up on Snapchat. He responded once, maybe?
Once or twice.
We had a slight back and forth. Then me being a straightforward person, I asked him if he was into guys.
I, however, decided not to respond.
Just left me on red.
At that point, I was also very uncomfortable with my sexuality, and I was also kind of already talking to somebody. And for me, when I'm talking to somebody, I don't entertain other people that I also think are very attractive, because Spencer is the kind of guy I definitely could have saw myself with, but I didn't want to preemptively jump into two at once.
So basically he was not being a player, which I guess good job, but nonetheless, my feelings were hurt. I was like, how are you gonna leave me on red, you know?
Trust me, it was hard to leave that face on red.
So it wasn't until a week or two later, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and Snapchat him again. Just straight up left on red, which absolutely blew my mind.
I think I blew his ego a little bit.
It definitely did. I was so hurt to the point where I even journaled about it. It so threw me off.
So, me and this guy obviously were not talking anymore, and spring semester had just started. We were all in new classes, new buildings. So one day I was going to my organic chemistry class, which just so happened to be in the math building, and his class was right before mine. So when I was walking to my class, we passed each other on the stairs. And I remember this moment because we both turned and looked at each other you're that guy. And I was like, oh no, you're that guy. I thought to myself, I was like, oh geez, I can't believe you left this guy on red. Why did you not text him back? But I let a week go by. I played it strategically, because I thought he was really handsome, and I was like, I would really like to go on a date with this guy. I Snapchatted him when I was on my way home to visit my parents, because I was like, okay, if I do it this way, he can't ask me to hang out tonight. Therefore, it's not going to be a one-time hookup. We start talking a bit, and I think we got kind of made plans to hang out.
Then a week goes by, and it's the day we said we're going to hang out. Griffin hasn't said shit. So midway through the day, I'm like, are we still hanging out? And he said yes.
Mind you, the whole day I've been cleaning my apartment, preparing for this man to come over.
So the night comes, I'm so nervous driving over to Griffin's apartment. He comes in.
Mind y'all, I lived in a raggedy apartment.
The ghetto!
It wasn't that bad. It was just student apartments. I come over, we hang out. I think we just ended up watching a movie. I met his cat, Franklin.
We did what gay boys do on their first date.
Correct. Not too much though. We kept
Not too much.
We kept it moderately classy. But then spring break was right after that, where I went on vacation, and after spring break is when we really started hanging out all the time.
During spring break, he sent me into an oblivion because I met him, and obviously I fell really hard for him, and then the week later he goes out of town on spring break. Of all things. He was in Panama City, obviously a very spring breaky town, and I was like, this man is just going to do what he does best. And whether he did or not, I don't know. I don't want to know.
I literally did nothing. I was actually laying on the beach thinking about how much I liked this kid. Anyways, when I get back from spring break is when we really start hanging out a lot.
Fun fact, Spencer actually had a rule about how much we could hang out, but I didn't know about this until it had already went into effect.
I came up with this in the interest of longevity. I didn't want to get tired of each other, and I didn't want to do too much too soon. So I was like,
Too much, too soon.
I'm only hanging out with this dude 3 to 4 days a week. Beyond the rule, let's talk about some of the early moments of our relationship.
Our first date was actually something that I was more interested in than Spencer at the time. We went to this thrift market, which was in Inman Park in Atlanta. Funny enough, like looking back, Spencer and I like walked this belt line before like where our first date was. We go get our haircut over there now. But yeah, so we went to this little thrift market. We bought a bunch of clothes, took pictures of each other. Pretty sure I soft launched him this day. Not really.
It was sort of a soft launch. We both posted pictures in the exact same spot. So like mutuals could probably catch the hint. And so after that, we went, I think this was the first time we had kava too. So we got some kava, some other things early into our relationship. This is sort of like, it was March when we first started really hanging out. So this is like early summer. We would go and get crumble cookies every week. We both love sweet treats, and that just became sort of a thing we did. Another thing that I think was foundational to our relationship was Mario Kart. We played Mario Kart every night for at least an hour for like the first 3 months we were hanging out.
Which, this could be either very good for your relationship or very bad. Thankful for us, I'm not super competitive, so every time Spencer whooped my ass, it didn't bother me. But when I started beating him...
That is such a lie. At first Griffin sucked at Mario Kart.
So bad.
So I would beat him every time, and like... Then he eventually started getting the hang of it, getting better, and it got really competitive for a minute.
So moral of the story, go on dates that you both like. Go on hikes. Hikes are huge because it makes you stay off your phone, and like you really get to build a connection with one another. And play games. Games can be so much fun, especially when it like allows you to get to know another person very well.
Yeah, and it's all great ways to bond.
Yeah, and I know Mario Kart is very surface level, but it also helps you break into like that excited side of somebody that you're not going to get to see unless they're winning, losing.
To segue off of hikes, I think this is both of our favorite memories. This was just a great day. We went to Sweetwater State Park here, which is basically, I think it's like the Chattahoochee. It's this giant creek. We brought snacks, towels, books, and basically just hung out all day on the creek, in the middle of the creek.
Mind you, this place is infested with snakes, and we had no idea.
Oh yeah, when we were walking back, I almost stepped on a snake, and I about jumped out of my skin. It was a lot, but it was super fun nonetheless.
That was definitely the best date that we have ever been on.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
We first became boyfriends about 2 months after we started hanging out. It was May 27th, and we were just chilling in Griffin's bed, and something told me to say I love you, and I did.
Y'all, this moment was like so surreal for me because typically between Spencer and I usually am the more emotional one for sure. And to hear him say that like he loved me and that he said it first, I think it just meant the world to me, and it really like made me see that this was somebody that I wanted to be with long term. And the fact that he could open up to me just really meant a lot.
That's your sign. Take the leap. Tell them you love them. You might just end up living together. That same sentiment, I asked him to be my boyfriend, and we went and got sushi that night, actually, at this place called Sushiology.
Which, if you've been watching our TikTok for a while now, Sushiology was the first date night that Spencer and I ever posted together.
So back to, it's coming towards the end of the summer. This is the true test of our relationship. We both got a job as servers together.
At Marlowe's Tavern. Spencer got fired. What did Griffin do? I quit the same day.
Out of solidarity, Griffin quit. Griffin wanted to quit anyways because he hated work.
So now we're going to tell y'all some of the things that initially drew us to each other. Obviously, meeting on Instagram, like Snapchat, the first thing you really see is somebody's like face and body. He has the most handsome face ever and a gorgeous chest, so how could I just not be obsessed with him? My most favorite thing about Spencer is his gentle manner. He's always been like this. He's always very nice, and he's very gentle. He's not a rough person, and that's one thing that I really value about him, is when it comes to me, other people, animals, he's just always so kind and forgiving and loving, and that's one of the things that I just really admire about him.
Aw, that was really sweet. So what first drew me to Griffin, initial appearances, I think he's wiped this from his Instagram. He's a little baseball boy, and I just thought that was so cute, and he's obviously very handsome. But upon meeting him and getting to know him better, what I really loved is his kind of fiery personality. Griffin is just a very lively person. He is incredibly funny. Like, he can make me laugh at all times, and he is just like, there's never really a dull moment with him. Whenever I'm around him, I'm excited and we can talk about nothing for hours, and he just really breathes life into the conversations he's with and the people he's around, and that's one thing that I love about you.
Aw, that's really sweet. I'm gonna start crying. I think that's like the nicest thing you've ever said. No, he actually has said nicer things in like the notes he's wrote me and stuff, but holy shit, that was good. Thank you. I love you.
So those are the early days of our relationship and what really made us fall in love with each other.
If this video does anything for you, let it show you that love exists, love is true, and I know it's hard out there, especially now in the world we live in, where people can just look at somebody, swipe left and right, and decide how much you like somebody based off a picture. But just remember that it's so much deeper than that, and there is somebody out there waiting for you, regardless of where you're at in life. Something beautiful is waiting on you. So this is what it looks like. 3 years into a relationship, 1 apartment, 2 cats, and still in love. And whoever tells you that love is easy is wrong. You have to work every single day for you and your partner, and if you do that, then you've done all you can do.
If you stayed to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate all the love and support that y'all give us. It fuels our desire to make these types of videos for you.
Yeah, y'all also have no idea just how much we love and are thankful for you guys. Love y'all. Bye.